everyone, it's Leanne with Diamonds and Doxies, and wanted to do a WIP and chat. I'm working on, let me get the sticker sheet. I'm working on The Moon by Alphonse Mucha, and I only have 4 sections left. Actually, these are smaller sections. So yeah, 2 full sections and 2 partial sections. So yep, I'm pretty much right here, right in here. Flip it around. Yeah, right in here. Right in there. So anyway, that's where I am on that. Nothing's really changed. I'm using my Muni-Made tray that I got with the kit. If you order a premium toolkit, it comes with a matching tray. So no, this kit is from Diamond Painting Shop, but you know, I'm bad about switching out and coordinating with everything. And this is the one I've been using, so I like it. So there it is. Still using my pen. I was gonna switch pens, and I was like, no, this kind of goes. So anyway, this is from Butterfly Effect Wares, which I just love. And let's see. Oh, the cover papers I'm using, these were from Summer with the Masters 2024, and they're from Crafts with Crashly. Currently, I'm using in my pen, this was from Oz and Og last year. I decided I should start using up some of my other putties, and this one, yeah. So doesn't look pretty, but I've been using it, and I think it's time to switch out my glue dots. But I use my micro glue dots, and I use 2 of them in my single placer. But I think I need to flip it around because my drills aren't picking up quite as well. So let's see, we'll put this here and there. And yeah, these tweezers are actually from Francesca Studio Works. She no longer makes diamond painting kits, but I loved her tweezers. They're just perfect for my hands, so I really do like them. And let's see, my storage is from Art Dot. It's the large storage trays. Inside I have this little insert that T-Maw, or I guess J-Paw, from Diamond Painting with Sparklers, DP with Sparklers. They 3D printed them, and so I use those, and these don't move around at all. So it's great. I love them if you haven't had a chance to try them. So anyway, I have already run out of one color, which was the 5200 AB, but we all know and love is what used to be called 141 for the ABs for Diamond Art Club, and look how many I had. So I had plenty. Not a problem. I am fearful that I'm going to run out of other drills, but maybe hopefully I'll have them in my stash. So let me get y'all zoomed in just a little bit, and then I will be right back. Okay, I hope that's not too zoomed in. Sometimes I zoom it in too much, and then I end up hitting the camera, so let's hope I don't do that. So I'm going to be doing 3750. This is all I have of this color, so yeah, we'll see. As I've stated before, this kit has a lot of trash. Now, before I get started, I guess I should probably say hi and welcome. If you're new, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you like diamond painting content, hopefully if I don't get on your nerves, I would love for you to subscribe. And also liking the video. That would be very helpful as well. What I'm doing is a WIP, which for what that means, if you're new, is a work in progress. My work in progress is this diamond painting kit. Yours could be anything. You could be, working on a cross stitch, a puzzle, a coloring book, diamond painting, whatever, craft that you like to do, you too can whip it out and start working along with me. Now, you don't have to do that. Of course, there's no right way or wrong way to WIP and chat. You can, I've used it before when I was moving. I was packing stuff. I had it, you know, I would have someone on in the background listening to them while I packed. Well, I've organized closets, you know, while I've cleaned before. So, you know, whatever it is you're doing, you can listen to it as a podcast as you're driving down the road. However you want to use this WIP and chat, be my guest. I'm just glad that you are here. Okay, well, as of this filming, today is Tuesday, and it's Tuesday evening. I have surgery on Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to put this video up on Thursday. I don't know. I have a hard time not just putting videos. I hardly ever schedule a video, but I'm kind of thinking about it because I know YouTube, from what I understand anyway, which, trust me, I don't understand much, but anyway, YouTube doesn't like it if you're not consistent on videos, so I'm afraid if I wait to post a video when I can after my surgery, yeah, that might be a problem. Plus, I don't want to lose y'all. Y'all are very important to me. So, I don't know. I do have a bunch of unboxings I need to do. But I don't know if y'all really like unboxings. They don't seem to get the views that WIP and chats or even lives do. I am going to be going live. Tomorrow will be Wednesday, so that's my normal live day. And I am going live. But I don't know. This, like I said, I think this is going to come out later. Yeah. So maybe I can get some unboxings done as well. Let's see. What has been going on in my little life that isn't surgery related? Well, I will say this. I thought, because when I got the paperwork about the surgery place that I'm going to, it said no nail polish. And I was like, you know, I know it says that, but do they really mean that? Because I haven't seen anybody, you know, follow through on that in years. I mean, I'm guessing the last surgeries I had, that wasn't a thing. You know, you could, no one said don't wear nail polish. So, but so I had an appointment scheduled for today to go in and get my nail polish, or it's the shellac, removed and get a manicure and everything, of course, and get them cut down to the bare, you know. And but fortunately, the nurse called me, the operating room nurse, and she said, I asked her about it, and she said, no, you're fine. She goes, no, well, you're fine. You can wear it. She goes, I know it says that on there. She said, but honestly, it's okay. So I said, cool. So I ended up getting just another manicure, because it had already been a couple of weeks since I went, which I could have went longer, but I don't know, you know, when I'll get to go back, because, you know, my arm's going to be in a sling, and you do have to put your hands inside this UV thingy, or whatever it is, and, yeah, so, you know, and he said, well, even if, you know, in 2 to 3 weeks when you want to get them redone, he goes, we can do it. I mean, he said, I'll just, you know, have to come, you know, we'll have to do it a different way. He goes, but I can do it. I was like, okay. So that was good to know. But I got a fresh mani-pedi and That's always good, isn't it? So, yeah. What else? I guess I've been, you know, I'm guessing tomorrow will be different, but currently I'm not nervous about this surgery. Not at all. In fact, you know, the only thing I'm really nervous about is, will I be in a lot of pain afterwards? You know, because I did have my rotator cuff done on my right shoulder, and boy howdy, let me tell you what, that was horrible pain. And I had to go to physical therapy like the day after surgery, and I mean, I cried, y'all. I mean, I cried. It was just like, what are y'all doing? So I don't know. You know, that was 30 years ago, maybe. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's the bottom line, is I don't know. And either way, it doesn't matter if he said, well, you're going to be in pain for 6 weeks, you know. It's like, well, I need this to be fixed so that I can heal, so that I can quit being in pain. I'm just tired of it, you know. I want to be able to use my arm like a normal person. And even diamond painting hurts. You know, it's just, I think it's for me holding this. Now, I don't know how I'm going to diamond paint. I'm definitely going to give it a try, of course, but I don't know how well it's going to go. Oh, wait, got one right there. I was trying to hear what one of these dogs is making noise. But, you know, look, see, I'm holding the container with my left hand, and I don't know. So, I don't know. I mean, hopefully, if nothing else, I'll be able, hang on, let me get this one out. I'll be able to do like one of the tiny, or the trinket treasures or something like that. You know, hopefully. I don't know. But, yep, equals. These 823, so trashy. So trashy. But, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So yeah, when it's, I think I've told you before, whenever, you know, but in case you're new, if you're wondering why I'm using tweezers, because you see how like these single ones are just out there, there's nothing around it for me to place beside, I will use tweezers because it's the best way for me to get them exactly straight. Sometimes they're not exactly straight when I use the single placer. So this just helps it, just helps me, you know, to be a little straighter. But, and if you hear a guitar playing, or you think you hear music in the background, that would be Max. He is playing his guitar. He got a new pedal today, and that's his hobby, his guitars. And just like with diamond painting, you know, part of the hobby is not just playing, it's also collecting. So yeah, he's got a gazillion pedals. So yeah, and guitars too, and amplifiers. But you know, that's what brings him joy. So nothing wrong with that. I certainly don't have any room to say anything. I want to do a stash video, and I may do a stash video with my arm being back. So I think I can try to do that with, you know, one-handed pretty much. But I do want to do a stash video because I do want to get closer to destashing some stuff. Yeah. So that's the plan. I do want to do that. And I want to do that sooner than later. So, because I'd kind of like to go, well, and here's, you know, into 2025, here's what I ended up, here's what I ended up with. And, or maybe like going into 2025, how many kits I have. But it is definitely growing. I've got boxes that I haven't even opened. I haven't even opened, y'all. I tell you what. Yep. And that's my own fault. I mean, I can't blame a company, you know, for me going, no, I want that. That's all on me. But, yeah. But, you know, it's, nobody should shame anybody on what they have. I mean, it's none of anyone's business. I mean, I would just say, please don't, you know, not pay your bills, or, you know, please don't go hungry or let anyone in your family go hungry because of it. But it's what you spend your money on is your business. And you're not asking me for help, and I'm not paying your bills, so, and no one else is either. So, you know, if someone's paying your bills, like, okay, they have a say-so in what you spend your money on because they're paying for it. But unless someone's paying for it, you do you, boo. You do you. And sometimes collecting is, you know, it's a whole nother thing. But I don't know. And I do have some tag questions that I do want to get into. I've had them written down, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it. I'm afraid if I keep waiting, I'm gonna forget. But I'll remember. I hope. I hope. So anyway, I'm anxious to be done with this one. Well, for one, I would like to get it finished before my surgery. That's going to be really pushing it. But there's a chance. There is a chance. And mainly because then I will have completed it. It'll be the first time in a very long time that I completed a kit in, you know, 3 weeks. So that will be, I mean, it was about this time last year, somewhere in here last year, whenever I was getting ready to put my house on the market, which meant I had to pack up all of my, well, not all, but a lot of my diamond paintings, and, you know, and I just haven't diamond painted like I used to. And this really has, this kit, with warts and all, has absolutely been a blast to work on. So, and I want to do a finish and review for y'all. I don't always do finish and reviews, but I don't know when the last time I did one, but I am absolutely looking forward to it. So, yeah. I mean, I've been just like, I was going to start keeping a round drill kit on my other table, you know, so I could go back and forth, but I'm like, no, I do not want to stop. I want to finish this one. So, yeah, oops. Those just popped out, okay. All right, where is this? Here it is, okay. I'm going to tell you right up front, skin tones I know are hard. I know they're hard. I know they are. But I'm going to show you something. That is not my color. That's not what color I am, okay? It's, I don't know, it's not even what my my polish is, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard to get skin tones right. Because I don't think, I mean, just because we call people white or we call people black or we call people brown, that's not really accurate. You know, and we're not peach, so yeah. But yeah, the skin tone on this is like, okay. Well, I don't guess there's, oh, excuse me, much you can do. Jeez Louise. See, this putty, these do not work as long. I mean, I have already changed it out in here. On this kit alone, I've probably changed out the putty 4 times. And I'm used to putty lasting the whole time. So, yeah. Because I start getting frustrated when the drills start falling off. It's like, so frustrating to me. You can really see the gapping in these colors as well. I do not use a light pad. And I will more than likely have to get some mica powder and fill in the gaps because I don't like it. Now, I know when you stand far away, and I'm going to go with that too on the skin tone. You know, when you stand far away, it looks fine. But just don't get up close because then it doesn't look so fine. Having said that, I mean, I don't know that I could do it any better. So... and I don't know. What do y'all think? Do you think it's because there's not the right colors with in the DMC? No, I didn't put enough. I don't know. Let me get this one out of here. Man, y'all. Okay, so it started with, you know, the flooding in Texas, and it's, you know, that's still not over. I really wonder if some people will just never be found. I mean, yeah. You're just given all the debris and the silt and, you know, everything. You know, I just don't know if everybody will be found. But anyway, so then I'm watching today, and the subway in New York was flooding. And I'm like, what? I didn't even know it was raining up there. And then the guy who does my nails today, he was telling me that it was also in New Jersey. And I was like, what? So, like, what on earth? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Just sometimes, you know what? Sometimes things happen, and they just happen. There's really not a person to blame. There's really not a thing, you know? I mean, it rained. It rained really hard. That area has flooded before, here in Texas I'm talking about. Not to this well, there hasn't been this extent of loss of life. But then I read where the guy who I guess was the director or something of Camp Mystic, which is where a lot of kids went missing from. You know, he recently built more cabins in the floodway. In the floodway, not the floodplain, the floodway. And I'm like, how did he get a permit to do that? You know, first of all, because, you know, I know when Max's mother house flooded so many times, to even rebuild, you had to get a permit. And they finally were like, no, you can't get a permit unless you raise your house, you know, like 10 feet in the air, which was just not going to be feasible. I mean, it just wasn't going to be. But otherwise, you couldn't get a permit to even fix up your house. So, you know, the government bought it out and they bulldozed it. And I think, why was he allowed, or anyone was allowed, to build in the floodway? I don't understand. And then I also, now this is, I don't know anybody that has actually experienced this flood that was there that can actually say, but I have heard that, you know, because I was like, why wasn't there a warning system? There should have been a warning system. Well, apparently you do have to have your phone turned on for those national alerts. Now, I have mine turned on for, you know, weather alerts or national safety alerts. We've never had to use those, but yeah, definitely weather. I have Amber Alerts turned off because half the time it's in a place that, you know, or even Blue Alerts. It's like, I'm in the middle, I'm in bed, I'm asleep, you know, I mean, but weather alerts, yes. And so we looked at Max's phone and he had all of them turned off. And I was like, dude, you know, you really need to have weather alerts turned on and public safety, like, you know, there's been a bomb or something, you know, that's the only thing I could think of. Never had to use it, but it's, you know, it's an option, so it's on the phone. Let me see here. I never can find that, the lines that go this way. Oh, here we go. This one here. Oop, wait, this one here. So anyway, I don't know if their phones were turned off. I mean, some people are saying it didn't come out till later. I just don't know. You know, I'm sure at some point, you know, it will come out. I mean, they know when they sent alarms and all that stuff. And of course, you know, people want to take it political. There's nothing political about it. Or I've seen people try to make it a race thing. It's, yeah, it's not about race. I don't know why people do that. It's always, you know, it seems like there's a tragedy and then people want to make it political. It's like, my gosh, these were innocent people. A lot of them were just small children. But anyway, I just don't understand what's going on. And I mean, so many places are flooding. My good Lord. And then, of course, you've got the Grand Canyon. It's on fire. Or there's a couple of fires, I should say. And those were from lightning strikes. I'm sure somebody will try to make it political somehow. Somebody always does. And then, I don't know. You know, I don't consider myself a conspiracy theorist or whatever. Sometimes I think, okay, that may be a little outlandish. Maybe it's an exaggeration. But could it be? I don't know. I mean, you got people talking about cloud seeding, and they do cloud seed. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe they, you know, usually when studies and stuff are done, usually that's going to involve putting it out there in the public, because that's really the only way you're going to know for sure. Is a large scale thing. I mean, it's like, you know, they give, like, you take like the vaccine or anything like that that's introduced new. Well, yeah, you know, yes, they've had controlled studies done, but the only way you can know for sure is just to throw something out there in the general public and see what happens. You know, just see what happens. And what makes this any different? I don't know. Now, they say they've been cloud seeding since like 1946 or something like that. So, I mean, I don't know if it's something that just never really got discussed, but I do think it's time that, you know, professionals at least, you know, try to explain exactly what it is and why they're doing it, you know, how it helps, and if there's any possibility that it's, you know, changing our weather patterns. You're always going to have people that are going to be suspicious, and I think that is, you know, I can get suspicious too, mainly because I don't know. You know, I'm going to have to believe whatever I'm told, be it a scientist or, you know, somebody else who's been studying it for a long time, you know. Sometimes you just have to go, well, I have to believe that that's true because I'm not smart enough to know the answer. And then, of course, you got people that are like, oh, no, I know everything there is to know. Okay. So I'm really not. But sometimes it's like I can see where this has become a conspiracy. You've set it up to be one, you know. Someone has set this up to be a conspiracy. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm just sorry that this has happened. You know, we got another system out there that looks like it's going to go across Louisiana, and I think it looks like it's going to turn into Louisiana and then go up north. So that will be sparing us. But whether it becomes a hurricane or not, who knows? But I'm telling you what, everybody thinks, oh, hurricanes are the worst. Well, they're not fun. But I'm telling you, just a tropical depression, just a tropical system. That's what happened in Kerrville. You know, it was the remnants. It's just a tropical wave. Those tropical storms have done some numbers as far as flooding goes. But, you know, you're always going to have areas that flood, right? I mean, it's like on the beach, you know. You know, you I don't know, you buy this beachfront property, and then you just got to go, surely you're not surprised that, you know, a hurricane could possibly blow everything there away. You know, that's like living on a creek or a river, you know, it may not happen in your lifetime, but at some point it is going to come out of its banks. And I've seen water out of its banks, and it shows no mercy to anything in its path. No mercy whatsoever. I mean, it destroys completely. So, yeah. I just don't, I don't know. And you know, nowadays we can't really trust, or a lot of us don't. I don't. That me. I'm one of those that doesn't really trust the media. You know, I mean, I hate to say it, but you know, as long as they can focus on the destruction and the death, you know, the emotional stuff, they're really not gonna. You know, we might not ever really find out what caused anything, because it seems like they always report the bad and never come back with an update, you know? And yeah, I mean, I just don't. I just don't. I just don't necessarily trust them. And I don't care what spin you put on it. It's like, don't put a spin on it. No, let me decide if that's good or bad. You do not need to try to convince me that it's good or bad. And I think we've gotten past that. You know, a news agency is not going to be able to just report on the facts, nothing but the facts, and move on, because they've created a monster of people they want, you know. And if the next news station, if they're putting on all the blood and guts and the seediness, then that's what they're going to go watch. And you know, they got to get paid advertising dollars. Advertisers are going to want to go where the people are watching, you know. So yeah, I would never be one of these people that says, oh, well, I saw it on such and such channel, so therefore, nah. And I don't think it matters where you live. I think that's true no matter what. So I try to get my news from different places, and sometimes it's incredible. Just the headlines. The headlines you'll see on stuff is just from one to another. You know, how something is spun. And yeah, it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me how that works. And I'd like to think that most people feel that way, but I don't know. Well, you don't know. I don't know how I got off on that. But I do know there are some people that think that the weather is being manipulated. And like I said, if there's not any studies, or, you know, if we're not included in stuff, then, I mean, I bet you a lot of people didn't even know there was cloud seeding going on until it was brought up with the flooding. Because I had a lot of people were like, what? Cloud seeding? What are you talking about? That's the craziest thing I ever heard of. Well, yeah, Google it. It's a thing. You know, it's a thing. The government's not trying to hide that fact. I mean, they're doing it. I don't know how many countries do. But, you know, is it really affecting our weather? I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah. Anyway, like I said, I don't know how I got onto that subject. I prefer to just watch my favorite YouTubers, and, you know, as long as they don't get all political and stuff, I'm good. But yeah, I like to follow YouTube And, you know, I do catch up on the news. I actually subscribe to a newsletter, and that's non-biased, or so they say. But they you know, they get their news articles from all over, from the AP to Fox to CNN to BBC to Sky News, yeah, Newsweek. I mean, yeah. But I think, like I said, I think it's funny if, I know I saw this thing one time. This was back when Obama was president, and I was like, yeah, this is what this reminds me of, because, you know, he goes to a Lakers game, right? And he's drinking Pepsi. And instead of, he was spotted at a Lakers game, you know, he hates Coke, you know? Oh my God. You know, you'll turn, why does Obama hate Coke? Why won't he drink Coke? You know, and it's like, oh, for the love of Pete. But it's true. That's how. And then I think if you blow smoke up people's drawers often enough, they'll quit believing anything you say. Be like, you're just trying to be one-sided. So, and my grandmother always said there's 3 sides of a story: yours, mine, and then the truth. And I believe that's accurate. I believe that's accurate. So, now look how similar these colors are. Look. Look how similar. Isn't that crazy? I think that's crazy. Here, Max laughing. I don't know what he's watching. I don't know if y'all can hear him or not. He's downstairs. I'm upstairs. Yeah. That's really where my nervousness is I don't know. I hope I'm not out of commission too long for the channel. Ugh. See, I hate when that happens. Not that anybody likes it, mind you. Mind you. Oh, I went and had lunch with my dad yesterday. That was fun. We went and had catfish. That was fun. I'm only trying to figure out, because his birthday is July 31st, and it will be my first birthday with him. So I gotta figure out, I really need to get over there on his birthday. So hopefully either I can drive or somebody can drive me. Max doesn't really like driving on the freeways, and you do have to go over pretty big bridge to get over there. Oh, itch. So I don't know. And then of course on the 2nd, just 2 days later, is my birthday. And I definitely want him for my birthday, because it'll be my first birthday with my dad. And yeah. That's very important to me. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll all work out. But it'll be what it's gonna be, I suppose. All right, y'all. y'all see any more of those? I do not. I do not. I want to finish this section before I go to bed. Now, that may have to be after, you know, I stop filming the video. But, yeah, I think we got another 15 minutes or so, at least. So, yeah, it may be a longer than usual video. We'll see. I don't know. But can y'all see this? You see how how much of a gap there is in there? And it's odd because I don't find all the colors to be gappy. But a lot of times they'll start out not gappy, and then as you go along, they just get more gappy. And it's almost like it's not the drills, maybe it's the squares on the canvas, you know? It's almost like they're not the right size sometimes. I mean, look. That is up there, and I'm having to bring them down. But what that does is it makes it gappy. So, yeah. And, you know, normally that would bug the crap out of me. I mean, I have gotten rid of kits before because I'm like, no, this drives me crazy. But for whatever reason, this kit has got a hold on me. And I don't know what it is. Oy. But I'm not complaining. So. But I am already like, ooh, what am I going to work on next? I think the next event, I think, is Oz and Og, right? So I might... I don't know. Is that a new start required? I have, oh gosh, now I can't think of her company's name, but Sherry Ann Baldy, who does the Besties. Is it Painting with the Besties? I can't remember the name of her diamond painting company, but I bought one of those for the Yellow Brick Road. Yeah, so... I do, and I bought it with Oz and Og in mind. Now, I don't know if it has to be a new start. I haven't been, you know, entering for prizes. I should, because a lot of them now are gift codes to places that I haven't bought anything from. And a gift code would be helpful for me to decide, you know, if I want to buy a bunch of stuff. So, yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I need to look into that and see. Now, Drills and Chills, I think they start in September. We also, me and Artemis, also have an event starting in September. It's called Chris Craft 2025. And there will be a grand prize, and there will be a Google form, and it's going to be a lot of fun stuff, y'all. And it can, you know, there'll be a video telling you all about it, but it's really designed for, you know, people might get burnt out with diamond painting and they want to try something else. Well, this is your opportunity. You can diamond paint, but you can also use a coloring book. You could cross stitch, knit, crochet, you know, sew, I guess. You know, just anything with like the fiber arts, you're able to do that. So, yeah. Be looking for more information on that. I'll be putting out a video in mid-August as well as Artemis. So I would recommend you follow both of our channels. I will put her channel in the description because both of us are going to be giving away prizes. Hers are going to be for the European side, And she's in charge of all the European stuff. So, yep. I have never, ever hosted an event. I have never, ever co-hosted an event. I really have zero clue on what I'm doing. And I'm very hopeful that y'all will allow me some grace. Yeah. So anyway, but I think I'm going to end up doing the besties one too for that. Because like I said, it can be either or. Now, I don't think you have to have a new start, but I do think you have to finish a certain amount to be considered for the grand prize for sure. I'm not sure about, you know, there will be weekly prizes. So, and the way the weekly prizes will go is me and Artemis both will do WIP and chats. And in those WIP and chats, we will put a keyword. And then all you have to do is use the keyword in a sentence and put what country you are from. And yeah, that's it. And then of course, you know, the names will be picked by the comment picker. So, and I think there'll be, I think, now see, I don't know for sure, but I think there's going to be, it's either going to be one each for the channels, or I think it may be two each. So like 2 for me and 2 for her, I think. Jeez. God dang it. Son of a biscuit eater. Oh my gosh. Well, this is what happens, y'all, on live TV. Ah, jeez. And you know, it's just sticky enough over here on the side. Goodness gracious, y'all. I'm always doing this. Fortunately, I don't do it mostly it's off camera. That one had a curve, so we can get rid of that one. And then you got all these over here. But I think what I'll do, I may just leave these. No, wait. I was thinking I would just leave them there, and if I need them, I can get them off from over there. And if I don't, I can just toss them. Because when I'm done, because I don't save, only save Diamond Art Club drills. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? God, I tell you what, and then I see where I missed. You know, I'm not the only one who does this. You're like, okay, I'm done with this color, right? And you scan, and you scan, and you scan. Nothing. And then 2 symbols later, you're like, oh, there was some there. Of course, y'all were probably screaming at me and I couldn't hear you. So it's right there. But I was, what? I was yapping. Yipping. The landscapers have been out, so it'll be nice to, when they get, I mean, they've busted up the old patio so they can start putting in the pavers, and they've marked off where we're going to have the little seating area with pavers and a path going around. And now they're working on putting in the flower beds. There's nothing in it yet, but first I gotta get all this done. And then I think the sprinkler guy will come out and put, you know, because the sprinkler's gonna have to be reconfigured. So he'll come out and do that. So yeah, I'm really anxious for it to get done. Now see, what color is this person? Is a person with that color? I don't know, but this is part of her skin. I'm sure it's supposed to be like shade or something, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that I could have done any better. Probably not. So, but then I don't really know that there are the DMCs that could be, you know? I don't know. In my mind, it would be like an ecru. Would be closer than a peach. But what do I know? I know nothing. Oh, let me take a drink here. I know a lot of y'all have been going through a lot of heat that is not normal. Well, we haven't. We're hot. It's summer. It is summer in Texas, at least on the Texas Gulf Coast. But hopefully for those of you like in Michigan and, you know, places that don't get super hot weather, hopefully you are, you know, back to normal. Because I can't imagine. Even over in the UK, you know, and they're definitely not used to it. But what I understand is there's so many different options for air conditioning. I mean, are they not available over there? You know, I mean, can you not get a window unit or a mini split or one of those portable air conditioners that you can vent out your patio door? I mean, is there nothing to use as an air conditioner? Because I cannot even imagine. I mean, even if I was told, well, you don't really need an air conditioner because it only gets above 70 degrees once or twice a year, I'm going to be like, and for that once or twice a year, I'm going to need an air conditioner. So, yeah. I am spoiled rotten to an air conditioner, I can tell you that much. I went out today to fill up my bird feeders, and the air was so thick. Oh my God, it was so hot, so humid. And me not really doing much of anything was sweating. I mean, it was running down the back of my neck. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was like being in a sauna. I was like, oh, those poor guys working out there. I wish I had like a swamp cooler or something for them, but I don't. I do not, so, yeah. But, you know, I don't know. I guess they're young. Maybe that doesn't bother them as bad. I don't know. The older I get, though, I can assure you I do not do heat very well. Just, ugh. And humidity, ugh. I've never liked humidity, ever. But, you know, I've lived here my whole life, so... I think I'm going to have to change this out again. The putty. I am pretty bad about it. As soon as I start having problems with it, I'm like, Well, now it's doing okay, so maybe. Let's see. So, y'all, I want my shoulder. I don't know how long it's going to take before I have full use of my shoulder, but I'm hoping and a wishing that, I mean, I want to host Thanksgiving at my house this year. And I'm very hopeful that my shoulder will be healed and I'll be able to do that. Because I haven't really, well, I haven't at all cooked a major meal here. And, you know, I envision in this kitchen making all kinds of meals, and I'm ready to do that, you know? I'm ready to do that. So, yeah. Oops. I have been able to get caught up on some of my videos, watching, you know. Some of them I've just decided to start, you know, start fresh and be like, okay, you know, I don't know what the previous ones are, but I'll start watching the most recents and just keep watching like that. Because at some point, it's like, I will never get caught up if I did that. If I went all the way back a year. Oh, come on. There. And so far, that's working out pretty good. So, yeah. This is getting on my nerves, y'all. It's probably getting on your nerves, too. Me complaining about it. Oh, goodness. That's what you get for licking your feet. Oh, gosh. There is a lot of color blocking in this kit. There's a lot. Which I'm not complaining about. Her face and stuff, and you got to her skin and her, I don't know, it's not a crown, but you know, the thing over on her head. That was some confetti. But it, you know, and I wasn't really, cause, you know, I went from doing all this color blocking, so it was kind of refreshing at first. And I was like, okay, well, I slowed way down now. So, I'm pretty sure that's too many. Yep. Oh, that does go there. Okay. So what have y'all been up to? Tell me about any purchases. I've made some, y'all. Yep, I sure did. I was trying not to. My plan was to not to. But, yep, I did. I haven't unboxed them yet. So I got some from the Christmas releases. And then I don't know. I mean, I need to unbox them because I kind of forgot, honestly, what I got. So, yeah. But I need to go through and see. All right, let's get this one done. Oh, let me move those over there. Oh, gosh. I may not get this one finished. And if I don't get this one finished, then I know I won't get the whole thing done by tomorrow night. Because, you know, I do have other things I have to do. So. And Thursday's out of the question, obviously. I imagine I'll be asleep a lot. Hopefully I'll be asleep that night. So, yeah. Yep. Oh, darn it. Had to get an H. I can't just wait and go back. It's like, nope, I gotta stop what I'm doing and do this. I don't know why, but that's just how I operate. I know a lot of people just wait and they go back at the end. But I cannot, because I'm constantly thinking about it. Like, oh no, it's over there, it's over there. And then it just sticks out. So, yeah. Two. Two. So I did a giveaway for my members, my channel members, and Mia won, and she was like, you know, I don't know that I'm going to use that, and so she asked me to pick someone else, and so I am. Yeah. I still want to do something nice for Mia. Mia's such a supporter, such a good friend to me. You know, I've been very blessed to have some amazing friends in this community. And yeah, I absolutely have, it's just been incredible, absolutely incredible. Yeah, I just found out today that Shay, of course, I think everybody knows Shay, she's going to be at the Lone Star Retreat, and I'm going to the Lone Star Retreat, and I am pretty darn stoked because I'll finally get to meet her in person. I mean, I've been a member of her channel for a long time now, and so yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So that's cool, huh? Are any of y'all going to the Lone Star Retreat? It's in New Braunfels, which at first, you know, was a little concerning because New Braunfels is also on the Guadalupe River, but nope, everything is fine there, so that's good. And I'll get to drive, which is awesome. I'll have to fly, so that's even better. And I'm pretty excited about it. I've been on the waiting list for it for so long. And when they finally, I couldn't believe it, you know. She was like, you know, you're on the waiting list. You only have this much time. And I was like, this is a scam. But it's not. So, woohoo. So, yeah. And then I was listening to Shay's member video, and she talked about how they have for the Dallas-Fort Worth area a diamond painting club, and they meet up once a month, something like that, and at a coffee house, and you know, just community, and they diamond paint or what have you. And I was like, you know, maybe I'm terrible at, you know, I've always got these ideas, but I want someone else to do them. But maybe we could get one in the Houston area, the Houston, Galveston area. I know there's a couple of us that diamond paint that we actually live fairly close to each other. We haven't ever gotten together. So, yeah, I think that would be fun. But I don't know. I don't know how you set that up, you know, and how you, I mean, like, do you go to say, if you find because it does sound like the best place to meet would be at a coffee shop. Do you find a coffee shop that's big enough that, you know, there's enough room for people to take over on tables and stuff? Because that would be fun. If, you know, I guess you have to ask them, right? I don't know. But I do think that would be fun. No. Put too much on my multiplacer. You know, I don't get as frustrated with these if I don't get them right, because it's like, it don't matter. They're not right, you know? So, I'm not gonna be perfect. So I don't even try to get them to line up very well. I mean, I do try. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's not like I just haphazardly put them on there. But I don't get as upset, I guess I should say, because, yeah, nothing's going to make these drills straight. Nothing. But anyway, if y'all have a group wherever you are, I mean, I know they have them for other things. I've seen them get together, or I've been to places like restaurants and stuff where they get together and play bridge, or, you know. So I wonder if, I don't know. I may start that, or I don't know. Probably if I started, nobody will be there but me. But I don't know. I guess it could be called the Greater Houston Gulf Coast Diamond Painters. Maybe. I don't know. If you've ever been in something like that, even if it wasn't diamond painting, what did y'all do? Did y'all like reserve space at a place? There's been some new coffee houses open up that are pretty big. So not like Starbucks. I mean, these are pretty big. So I don't know. And then I don't know, I mean, a lot of people work, and I like for my weekends to be my weekends, so I don't like having anything planned for the weekend. So I don't know, it could be that people just can't, and I guess I could do a Saturday. But I don't want to do a Sunday because sometimes we go to church, and a lot of times we eat lunch with our youngest son after church. So, yeah. So I don't know. Just some thoughts I had. But I would like to hear your thoughts on it, if you have any. And if you live in the greater Houston area, Houston, just say the Gulf Coast, all the way down to Galveston, then, and if it's something you would like to do, let me know. And maybe together we can do something. That one's good. It's a bad drill. Oh, geez. Hope I have, I guess I'll have enough to do this one over here. So I don't know if y'all follow Tammy. Diamond Painting with NMD. It's she has said what it is before, but I don't know. But anyway, she's confined to a wheelchair, but she is such a sweet, sweet, sweet soul. I mean, just such a sweet soul. And she just had her birthday and her 1-year YouTube anniversary, and she finally made it past 500 subscribers. That's a pretty good deal. And I'm so happy for her. I'm trying to get to 750. I don't know if I'll make it or not, but that's okay. It really is. I'm happy with y'all. And yeah. But it would be nice. I don't know. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Oh, that one's messed up. See this one here. Put that in there. All right, we're almost done with these 4s, I think. Yep. Okay. Well, y'all, I am not going to be able to finish this section tonight. It is just the way the cookie crumbles on that. But thank you so much for watching. Yeah. And so, like I said, you'll probably be watching this on Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure which. So, thank you so much. And I hope you're having a good day, night, morning, week, whatever you're watching this. And just know that you mean a lot to me, and I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching the videos, all of that. And yeah, so everyone, be nice, be kind to each other, okay? And I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.